first of all, I got a bullet still today, a 45 bullet an inch to my skull. You can look at my medical records and see the x-rays and see it's in my skull. They didn't remove it because they said if it would have went another inch, either I'd have been investable or dead. Now, as far as what they say Puffy did and didn't do, this is the facts. The facts of the matter is this. It was a guy named Reggie Wright Jr. who was over security. He didn't work directly for Death Row, but he had a security company called Right Way Security, who did security for Death Row with off-duty police officers or guys with a CCW. Everybody knows when we go to a fight in Vegas, we're going to be at the Tyson fight, or we're going to be at my club they call Club 662. You can go to that club and you'll see Mary J. Blige perform, Jodeci performs, Tupac performs, Snoop and the Dogg Pound. Reggie Wright Jr. told the security they can't carry firearms. The sad thing about that, Pac hated Reggie Wright Jr., so he had fired him before any of that. I don't know the right date, but I'm quite sure it was. It's paperwork that shows it. But the crazy thing about that, it was a bodyguard named Frank Alexander. Pac hated Frank. He was cool at first, but towards the end, he hated Frank because Frank always went. So on the way to the fight, Reggie Wright Jr. tell Michael Moore he can't carry his weapon when he's doing bodyguard work for Tupac. Michael Moore said, well, I'm going back to the hotel. If I can't carry my gun, I can't protect myself or Tupac, so I'm not going. So Reggie Wright Jr., who nicknamed that Pac gave him Pork Butt, so Pork Butt goes and says, Frank, you can go, but you can't bring your gun. Now, everyone knows you can't be a bodyguard without a gun. So after the fight, we come from the fight. Tupac got into it with another guy. It was a big fight. After that fight, after we stopped to a few places, we go to my house. I told Frank, I told all the security, I told everyone. Pac just beat up a well-known gang member. Send 4 or 5 guys extra to the house to escort Tupac to the club. Reggie Wright Jr. refused to send the security guys, refused to show up. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a murder for hire hit. We was blocked in. It was more than one shooter. Only person know the truth, the real truth, is me and Tupac. He's not there to tell it. Only person knows is myself. But Reggie Wright Jr. tried to change the whole story of the narrative of what actually happened, and he was not there. During that situation, Snoop, who everyone knew at the time, wanted Tupac dead. Snoop had a meeting with Daz, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, the Dog Pound. Said, we're not going to Vegas. This is their words, not mine. We're not going to Vegas because basically something's going to happen. Somebody's going to get killed, right? So Corrupt tells the story. Daz tells the story. Warren G tells the story. Reggie Wright Jr. and Michael Moore in the car. They get on the radio and they say, hey, got him. Another guy gets on the radio. They say they think he's a white guy or a lawyer. And they say, hey, don't talk on the walkie-talkies on the radio. Don't talk on the air. Right? So to move things forward, maybe, I don't know if it was 6 months or longer, however it was, since I've been in this prison right here. Somebody played that for me with Michael Moore said. So when I know that attorney David Kenner always says You could be on your cell phone and people be talking like, hey, don't talk on your cell phone. Somebody listening. They recorded and you can't do that. They're listening to you. So I know that's the saying. So jokingly, I told David, I said, hey, was that you on the walkie-talkie? Because that's your line. Don't talk on the phone. Now you use one saying don't talk on the walkie-talkie. So that being said, David Kenneth goes and says, Suge, I never had a walkie-talkie. I would never have a walkie-talkie. Would I need one for it? Never. So I'm saying, wow, he's so bent out of shape, but I was joking about it, right? I said, you never had a walkie-talkie? He said, that's not me talking on a walkie-talkie. I never said he was talking on a walkie-talkie. So that raised red flags. Didn't think nothing much about it. A lot of crooked cops got involved in hip-hop. Those same crooked cops I felt that cost me my freedom, cost Puffy his freedom for now, cost a lot of people bad situations. And I think that they cost the most biggest two rappers in hip-hop history, Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, their life. Everybody points the finger at everyone, but it all comes back to the same authorities. Even
as you know,
that was crazy because Suge Knight has not been speaking on Reggie Wright Jr. and exposing Reggie like this. It's crazy that he's even speaking in this manner. So he's pretty much, saying Reggie Wright was the one who orchestrated the murder of Tupac and had Michael Moore, which was Tupac's ex-bodyguard, right beside him. Michael Moore had said over the walkie-talkies that somebody had said got him right after the shots had rang out. So he had already exposed this whole play, and he was pretty much indicating that Reggie also might have something to do with it. They had a documentary before he passed away with Frank Alexander, who shot himself in a suicide because he passed away. So Suge Knight is saying Reggie Wright, crazy that Reggie Wright is the one that orchestrated that whole situation.
While I was working at 662, I heard something over the Nextels that we all carry for security. And what I heard was, got him. It's definitely one of our, not paid security, but one of security that works with directly for Mr. Knight came over the radio. Now, I couldn't pinpoint exactly whose voice it was, but it was some voice that I had heard before. So I knew it was one of our, not one of our direct security that was hired with us, but one of the, what do we call them? One of the homeboy securities. You said got him right before me and Mr. Wright got in the vehicle to go get to the hospital.
The night that Tupac was shot, after being taken off of Tupac with me, went back over to Club 662.
Then someone else came on the radio and said, hey, don't say nothing over the radio.
So Michael was with Reggie, and they went to the hospital together. And Michael talks about hearing something over the radio. Well, he would have heard it over Reggie's radio because he wouldn't have had a radio that night.
Nextel sold a push-to-talk feature, which was essentially a walkie-talkie over a cell phone line. With it, conversations could be transmitted via speakerphone. This was how Moore heard the conversation on Wright's cell phone. But was this a random broadcast meant for a wider audience, with Moore and Wright only passive listeners? That's possible now. But
at the
So, I mean, the one thing, too, with Tupac, I still got a 45 bullet inched to my skull. And the thing about it is, they've been knowing all this type of stuff from day one. And that's why he violated me and sent me to prison last time. And the other thing is, for Biggie's son, I'm quite sure they saw the first one, they saw the second one, because it's the same circle of people, you know?
I got tapped on the shoulder by one of the cops' daughters that was involved, and she told me, I mean, this isn't conjecture anymore. We know the facts.
Yeah, it's the same people, same circle of people.
Yeah.
Have nothing to do with me, you know?
No.
When he came in, they put him on stand, and the judge asked me, said, do you know Suge Knight? I said, you don't know Suge Knight. I said, what did he do? The only thing he did was help me and save my life. which I basically did because, you know, Pac was my little brother and the number one artist out on the bond. And if he would have got in trouble, he was going back to prison.
Yeah.
So I knew it was cameras everywhere in Vegas because I went to UNLV. They just take us to the top and let us watch. So, you know, I was breaking up saying, you know, cut that bullshit out right then here. But at the same time, they just played with the thing the way they wanted to play with it. And see, the thing is, those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac. They was watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, I had two of the toughest guys for him, and Reggie pulled them off of me. It didn't have to happen. I told him to send 5 guys from the club to there, and they never sent nobody.
Yeah.
And Frank blocked us in purposely. Later, he told us at the streets. They told him to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank got so bad he died, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And Michael Moore.
Yeah. And then Perez and them was all involved. They were trying to kill me too, but see, because Perez and Reggie was good friends, and Perez and Sarita and Reg is great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Russell got it right before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And you know, and the sad thing about it, Orlando wasn't even a shooter, you know.
No, exactly. No.
And it said that, but that's not at all. He was actually a good kid too, you know.
Yeah.